My Lords, it's a little daunting to follow the noble Lord Cashman after such a passionate speech, which I wholeheartedly agree with. I was also born in a council house. I live now in a council flat, albeit privately owned, and I love the sense of community and security that living on a council estate can offer. I'd also like to thank Lord Smith the noble Lord Smith for bringing this debate. It is a crucial time. The situation is simply worsening on a daily basis, and we do need some quite dramatic action. I have 3 specific points I want to make. Obviously, a huge topic, and I'd like to speak for much longer than 6 minutes. But I have 3 specific questions that I really would appreciate an answer to. The first question is about an issue that the noble Lord Smith actually did refer to, which is the issue of land banking by developers, by builders, that actually delays the supply of housing quite often and also makes housing more expensive when it does come on stream. And that is, has the government actually thought about land value taxation, which is a very simple method that will make everything much fairer, that would remove the incentive for land banking and holding back on building houses. That's my first question. My second question is about the demolition of estates. It seems to be happening quite a lot. I've seen council estates demolished against the wishes of the residents themselves. And I feel that it is absolutely wrong to do that. If residents like the place they're living in, what happens is the estates are demolished, less housing is actually less affordable, less social housing is then brought in, and some of the housing is sold off very, very expensively privately. I understand why councils do it. They've been kept short of money by this particular government, but the fact is, if you demolish estates against the will of the residents, you're actually not listening to people who understand how that particular development works, and I think that's extremely damaging. My third point is about community housing, and it's been said already that more housing could be built, but sometimes there are NIMBYs blocking it. But in fact, many communities are stepping up and building, providing more affordable homes through community-led housing. Such groups have already built 800 homes in recent years, and many are in areas of outstanding natural beauty, having won support for more homes than the local council thought likely or even possible. In the spring of 2016, the government announced the Community Housing Fund, designed to help community-led groups build affordable homes. It could help them build a further 12,000 homes over 5 years. The first year's money went directly to councils, but the government has still not released any funding for this financial year, more than halfway through the year. When I asked the government in July when the money would be released, I was told in due course. Well, the appropriate time would have been in March, after the sector submitted a detailed proposal to the government. The longer it waits, the more projects get stuck in limbo and the fewer homes can be built, homes that are acceptable to local communities. And so a decision from the government on the Community Housing Fund is long overdue. Can the Minister tell me when that will happen? And as I have a little bit more time, I'm going to react to some of the things I've heard. Lady Young mentioned the garden villages that are so revolting. I would add Poundbury to that mix. It is a truly vile, vile development. And how he got away with it, I have absolutely no idea. Secondly, I take the point about undistinguished green belt, but in fact, for me, I would think perhaps that could be quite valuable in terms of biodiversity. One person sees brambles and the other person sees habitat for all sorts of birds and insects and mammals. And so we have to be very, very careful. There's even an issue about building on brownfield sites, which can be incredibly biodiverse. So every single site should be assessed properly before anything is built. And Greenbelt should be, of course, the last option, simply because it is part of our heritage and incredibly valuable for us to breathe and relax in. I also wanted to mention the Clean Growth Plan that was actually released today, because that offers all sorts of opportunities for not only reducing our carbon burden, our carbon expenditure, but also making life better for people who are on very limited incomes. And the one issue that I would very much like to see included is energy storage solutions in the home. This is something Greens often talk about things for 10 or 15 or even 20 years before they get picked up by the majority of the other parties. And so I would like to say, please put this on your radar. Home energy storage solutions would be an incredible way of reducing people's expenditure on energy and also taking pressure off the national grid. Thank you.
Lords,